Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of On the Bright Side. I'm your host, Caroline Susko. You guys, if you would see my setup right now, you would clock me. You would clock me in the face right now. I have my mic, positioned on an Invisalign case, some 4 books, my bed. I chose comfort today, and that is okay. I woke up and said, okay, let's just record this episode. Let's start. Let's get to work. And I got to work, but my curtains are literally closed. I'm in like a bunker right now. Just kidding. I'm literally in my bedroom, but I feel like I'm in a bunker because it is a heat wave today. They say it's a heat wave. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if they're being drama because they said it was a heat wave yesterday and I was in a sweatshirt outside. But, even if they are being drama, that's fine. It's okay because sometimes drama is good. It keeps the people on their toes, it keeps people up and going. We're also just like the United States as a whole is just in some sort of heat right now. And I don't mean that sexually. I mean like, whoa. It's getting a little spooky here. I won't say much more, but I will say this. Brianna Chicken Fry said it best. It was an open book test, people. And that's all I'll say. I digress. But anyway, we are in a heat wave right now, technically, apparently. So my pool people, you better share the wealth this week. My pool friends have been awesome about sharing the wealth, which is absolutely great because we have to give back to the less fortunate, aka me, the people that don't have pools. I did have a pool growing up, and by growing up, I meant I had it for 2 months before my parents got divorced, so the pool was very short-lived, which is totally fine. But in those 2 months, I might as well have made that pool public. I gave back. I gave back to the people without pools, and I had a lovely time doing it. I honestly felt like Oprah. For once in my life, I felt like Oprah. You can come to my pool. You can come to my pool. You, come to my pool. I felt like I was granting so much. But then we moved away. So I hope the people living in my pool right now are having a blast. But anyways, woke up and was like, okay, let's get to work. But of course I need to eat first because I am such a foodie. So I just need to eat. I'm sorry. Not sorry, I'm starving. And so I went downstairs this morning and what was in the fridge? Hell of a good dip. Hell of a good dip is my fridge cigarette. Cigarette. Yeah, wow. That just it itched a weird part of my brain. Anyways, it's so good. And now I might be clocked for this too because, oh my gosh, people, it is so easy to ruffle their feathers. I swear to God, anything I say, there's a comment. The other day I posted a video of me laying on my driveway because that's where the sun hits and there was pesticides in the grass. And so I was laying in the driveway with my blanket on and they were like, are you literally trying to cause a scene? I'm like, no, I'm just trying to lay in the sun. God forbid a girl has a hobby. So this might ruffle some people's feathers too, but it's so delicious. Hell of a good dip. Now let's think. What is hell of a good dip kind of like? Cream cheese. I put hell of a good dip on my bagel one night after I came home. So good. So delicious. Now, I wouldn't eat that every day because you will probably go into cardiac arrest, but try dipping a bagel in hell of a good dip. You won't be sorry. You will not be sorry. You know what? I also have dipped in Cheez-Its and ranch. I should patent these ideas before I keep sharing them with the public because, I come to share the wealth and share this wonderful idea, but then before you know it, someone's going to be making a hell of a good dip cream cheese. So I don't want to be left high and dry. So if you take this idea, I need 20%. But it's all about balance. And right after that, or before that, I went to bar class. And I love bar class. I absolutely adore it. And the teachers are instructors, I guess not teachers. The instructors are so kind and silly. But who is going to tell them that I have tremors? Because I don't want to. Because they think that I am doing so well in this class because when they see me shaking, they think I'm working really, really hard. But who is going to tell them I have body tremors? Who is going to tell them that I am just slightly doing the workout and my body is just always trembling? One could say my body is always on its toes, but I was leaving class and the instructor was giving compliments out on her way out, as we were cleaning everything up. And she was like to the girl in front of me, your form was incredible. Good job. The next girl, oh my gosh, it was so good to see you. You were so good today. Me, your shakes were literally incredible. Me, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you. I felt great. Even though it's part of my body, I felt great to be noticed. Even if it's something that my body does on its own, that's fine. It felt great. But I have 7 classes left, so I'm I'm just not going to tell them. I'm just going to end on a high note and pretend I worked really, really hard when it was in fact 7 a.m. in the morning and I was being murdered by like that 10-second plank. It's fine. It's totally fine. And you know what's even more fine is that I went to a bar class and then ate hell of a good dip on a bagel. You know how people reach for their cigarette? You know how people's fridge cigarette is a Diet Coke? No, mine is hell of a good dip. And when hell of a good dip is in the fridge, it is a hell of a good day. Wow. And I don't know if you've gathered this yet, but today's episode is kind of just me chit-chatting. I don't really have like a words to live by thing this week. I'm kind of just chatting because so much has happened in my life and a lot of funny things. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just do a catch up this week. Let's talk about pop culture. Let's just be us this week. Just me and you. Let's hang out. And life has been so funny lately. And there's some stories, but they're like so niche. And like, do I think this guy is listening? Absolutely not. But God forbid he is. But in these moments, I feel like there's the angel and the devil on my shoulder being like, remember the golden rule from 2nd grade, treat people the way you want to be treated. And would I want this story out? No, but I really want to share it. It's the empath in me. Okay, maybe I'll like sneak it in. I'll give it a little more time to marinate. We'll think on it. I feel like I just am the person that was like, oh my gosh, I have the biggest, craziest secret, but I actually can't tell you. But there's so many silly things today, lots of life updates, so it's fine. It's totally fine. First, I have been going shopping because I'm going away next week, and I have been at the stores trying stuff on. It's the first time I ordered at, what's that store called? Pepper Mayo. And the second I place the order, I go on TikTok, and it's like, do not shop at Pepper Mayo because it'll never come. And I'm like, oh, great. Oh, good. I'm relying on this for my vacation outfits, but it's totally fine. So we'll see. I'll give you an update on if it comes or not. I've heard good things about Pepper Mayo, so maybe it was just a fluke. I feel like my phone is always listening to me. So maybe it was just like a targeted ad. I don't know. A targeted ad from its enemy, from its haters. Don't know. But anyways, I got some clothes. What I want to ask, do you guys wash your clothes before you wear them? Because I buy them and they go right on my body. I don't think to put them in the wash and do a cycle. But if it's like bedding, if it's like utensils, if it's like a mug, of course I'm going to wash it first. I don't know. It's literally the same principle, just different fonts. Yeah, I'm not following the same principle. Because like you have to think about it. These are manufactured everywhere. You know how many like warehouses it's going through? I might as well be licking the floor if I'm not washing a utensil before, which makes sense. But like clothes, it's not like I'm licking the clothes. I don't know. It's a weird thing to think about, but growing up, that's what I always did. But then maybe I just got lazy. But I went to Zara the other day and got a whole outfit and put it right on my body because I was like, it's going to get dirty anyway because I'm wearing it. So I might as well just wash it once when I'm done wearing it for the first time and then shower. So got that outfit. And then the other day I wore this super cute dress and I was like, you know what? I have nowhere to wear this to, but I really want to wear it today. So I put it on my body, got ready, wore it. And you know where I went? McDonald's. I made a TikTok and was like, going to McDonald's, going to get a 5-piece chicken nugget, a DP, if you will, Dr. Pepper. And I'm having a day in my dress. You got to keep the people on the toes. Never let them know your next whereabouts. They could see me and be like, oh my gosh, she's going to the gala. No. I'm just going to the grocery store. Imagine you're in like the McDonald's drive-thru and Barack Obama is there. Don't you want to be dressed the nines for a good first impression? Not in your pajamas? Yeah. So put my dress on. And then someone comments on that TikTok, there is no 5-piece chicken nugget. And I fell silent. Were you silent or were you silenced? I was silenced because here I am thinking I'm a foodie, how much I love food. And I can't even tell you the right amount of chicken nuggets that come in a meal. It's 4 or 10 or 20, I think. You know, I don't even know anymore. I'm overguessing everything. I'm a fraud. I am a McDonald's fraud, and I can't even tell you what's on the menu. So I was clocked for that, and rightfully so, because one should know the number of nuggets coming in a meal. And these comments are not rare. I talk about my opinion a lot on TikTok, but it's not like a controversial opinion. Well, actually, I guess it is. But it's nothing that would like turn heads. It's just simply like, oh my gosh, my match is on Hinge today. Whew. Or like, do you wash your clothes before you wear them? Literally stuff like that. And some people are hollering. Like I might as well started a war in my comments and people are like screaming at each other. People are calling each other the C word. I'm like, whoa, like this is just about an app, a silly little app. Calm down. So the other day someone's hollering over something in the comments and like mansplaining something. And I really and truly do not care about these comments. It's like from like user 55555, whatever. And I get a notification that my therapist was responding to them. And I was like, wow, I picked the right girlie. She's awesome. She rides for me at dawn. So funny. Like, get you a therapist like that. I'll wait because there is no one better. She is the best of the best. She is writing for me in my TikTok comments. What more could I ask for? And speaking of literally what more could I ask for, this past week has been next to incredible. And now since it's past, I get to talk about it. But wow, am I so grateful, because these opportunities, if you told me a year ago that last weekend I would be doing social media for Thomas Rhett, I would have said, you're wild. I would have said, you are crazy. Well, I guess I'm crazy because it happened. Oh my gosh, I was so nervous leading up to it, and then I got there and I was like, I love this little life. So let's do a rundown of this. I'm doing a full YouTube video on it. Yeah, guys, I started posting on YouTube. Younger me is screaming. And so I'll do like a full video explaining it. But basically, for my podcast listeners, for my audio only listeners, I got chosen by Thomas Rhett's team to do social media for the Saratoga Springs concert. Now, when I got this information, I was jumping up and down, too stunned to speak, because at the time, my TikTok had been hacked. This was way back in March when I was hysterically upset because my TikTok, and rightfully so, because that's how I make my money. And then they reached out to me and they're like, hey girl, where is your TikTok? Did it get hacked because the name is J Doe? And I'm like, unfortunately it did. And I was so bummed because I was like, this is going to be such a great opportunity. And I don't think I will be able to get it because my TikTok's been hacked. I was wrong. They chose me to still do the social media. And I was like, oh. And Thomas Rhett is my favorite country singer. And I'm not just saying that because I like did social media for him. No. I've been to 2 other of his concerts already. I ride for Thomas Rhett like my therapist rides for me in the TikTok comments. And so grateful is an understatement. So I got to go to Thomas Rhett a couple days before. Him and his team sent me a jersey and had my name on the back, which was so cool. And then I got to bring 3 other friends to the event. And I really didn't know what to expect. I learned that I got it like a month and a half before, but I really didn't know too much till like a couple days before. So it was still a very element of surprise kind of deal. And so I got to bring my 3 friends. I brought my sister and 2 other really good friends. And first we got there. So I went up to his tent, and was like, yes, I have 4 tickets on hold. And at first they couldn't find them. And I was like, uh-oh. And then I was like, yeah, Mr. Rhett had put them aside. And then they found them. And I was like, this is like the weirdest sentence that has ever come out of my mouth. Like, whoa, pinch me moment. So we went in, we got to go to the VIP tent, and they had this country fest set up. There was so much food, and then it was like traveling time through like Thomas Rhett eras. There was like a photo booth. They did a really, really good job. And the food was bomb. They also had like free drinks. I don't drink, but I was like, you know what? It's free. And usually drinks here are $24 a drink. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just dabble in a few sips. Because 1, me and my anxiety and drinking don't get along. And 2, I was about to go do work for Mr. Rhett. But I was like, okay, a few sips, it'll be perfect. Get the little nervous jitters out. And that it did. And so from there, we went to the meet and greet section, and this was really cool. So no one else could have their phones because it was more so like a time thing and like security, whatever. And I could. Me and my friends could. So we go to the back of the line, the very back of the line. That's how I was told. And this jersey that I'm wearing, it signifies to security, like, this is who I am. I'm doing social media for Thomas Rhett. Cool. So I get to go last, and I really wanted to think outside of the box for this concert, for the social media, because they hire someone with every concert. So I was like, okay, I need that je ne sais quoi. I need to show that I'm different. I'm here. So I was like, okay, let's do an OOTD with Thomas Rhett. I'll get the microphones. It'll be super cool. And that it was. I was like nervous that I wouldn't even have time to do the OOTD. But I did, and he was so kind. I met him before in passing back in 2021. I was in Disney, and he was so nice, and I was starstruck. But then, so this time, I got to do the OOTD with him. He was wearing a very good outfit. It was like a Ralph Lauren jacket, and whatever, and so on. You've seen the video. And if not, go on my TikTok, go on my Instagram, it's there. I need to post like the full thing. I still have to do that. He was awesome. And he was like, is everything good? Are you okay? Is there anything you need? I was like, wait, I should be asking like you this, sir. Like, are you okay? Do you need anything? Can I get you anything? He was just incredible. So then after we finished getting all the footage and social media stuff for Thomas Rhett, then we like walk back out and we're on this like side area and Tucker Wetmore is opening for Thomas Rhett. And he like yells out the window while I'm in the bathroom and my friends are like, is he opening? Because he just yelled out the window. Like I'm 99% sure that was him. Yeah, it was him. He was like hollering out the window, having a good time. King. So then we went to the pit. I didn't know we were getting like pit tickets. I just thought we were getting seats. No, we were literally front row. And I was like, what? And so first these country girl singers come on, the Castellos, some girls, they're great. And me and my friends were being so silly. And there was this cowboy that was playing like the banjo or something. Oh no, he was playing the guitar and he had a cowboy hat on. And as a joke, we put up my number because we love being silly. And he looks us in the eyes and puts on his wedding ring. And I was like, ah! Like, I'm so sorry, sir. But like, can everyone be like him? It was so funny. Like, for real, he needs to teach a crash course on being a gentleman. Put the ring on. So we're like, okay, so sorry, King. Then we were silly. And so then I posted the video later on TikTok and he comments, no hate to y'all. I just love my wife. And the girls comment, I'm like, this is so, it was so funny. And it must have sent to their like group chat because it was like the bands commenting and the members. We were all peeing our pants. Like imagine you're like, oh my gosh, okay, he's cute. And you go put up your number, shoot your shot. And he looks you dead in the eyes and puts a wedding ring on. Like, I'm so sorry. Humbled. He humbled me, but like as he should. And then in the video, I posted my phone number. Well, I didn't even think that my phone number was like slightly on the video for like 0.2 seconds. And then I'm getting all these calls and texts and I'm like, who are these people? And then I finally put it together and I was like, oh, but I was like, why are you calling me? I was just more so surprised. Because I was like, I'm literally just a girl. And when I say I got a lot of phone calls, I got 7. But that's a lot to me, okay? Especially when you're in your sleep mode and the random people are calling. It felt like a lot. It felt like 2015 when you would comment your friend's number on like Justin Bieber's page and you would comment like, oh my gosh, I just found Justin Bieber's number linked. It's 555-221-8842. And it would be like your best friend or someone like when you got in a fight, you would put their number on so they got a lot of calls. That's how I felt. Very niche feeling. So I had to take that TikTok down because I was like, wait, why are you calling me? But like also thank you. It was a different level of flattering. And then Thomas Rhett came on, performed. It was a wonderful, wonderful concert. And I am so lucky and grateful that I got to bring my friends and I got to go have an incredible night. And on a very serious note, there was this gentleman and he was probably a little older than my friends and I, and he had come by himself to his concert and he had the most sad sign about something he had dealt with and how Thomas Rhett's songs had helped him. And Thomas Rhett read the sign and oh my gosh, like you could just see in his eyes how touched he was. And the gentleman was hysterically sobbing because he was so happy to be like recognized. Like when you say someone is your idol, this was the epitome of that moment. And it was so special to see. And then he got the guitar pick from Thomas Rhett and it gave me chills. And it made me so happy that I could see this opportunity and see this gentleman get to the other side of his pain. And wow, it was absolutely a moment within a moment that I will truly never forget. So that was such a pinch me night event. And I'm so lucky, so grateful to have been chosen, to have been able to work for his home team and for the support from you guys. Oh my goodness. I felt so much love that day. And on a more sappy note, I'm so lucky to be able to have this community. It's absolutely insane. So then, as if that wasn't enough of a pinch me moment 2 days later, I hosted my very first On the Bright Side podcast wellness event called Wake Up to Wellness at Glisten. And it was so incredible. It was like my Pinterest board had come to life and there was so much support. And when I had originally put those tickets out, I think the first day 7 sold. So I was so worried that like, oh, people weren't going to like this event, that it wouldn't sell. And the morning of, I get a text, congratulations, your event had been sold out. And I was like, what? The girl that's always speaking was too stunned to speak because, wow, they tell you 95% of your worries don't happen wow, they're right. Wow. Because I was so worried about something that never ended up even happening. And the event was such a success. I had my friend do the photography and she killed it. We had this adorable setup by this company called Glampover Events. And they did like this cute little picnic opportunity. I did a little talk. We did a wonderful sculpt class. It was so funny because she was like, yep, it's just minimal sweat. And we were sweating by the end. But like it was such a good class. So good. And I couldn't have asked for a better event. The sponsors, Chef's Kiss. We had so much yummy food. And then we had like matcha and coffees. And it was so special to be able to share my story because it's not a part of me that a lot of people know about unless they're listening to the podcast. Like I'm not just on my Instagram chatting about my anxiety every day. So it was really cool to be able to hear other people's stories after that. They pulled me aside to tell me. And it was so special because girls were like, when's the next one? And that's like the best outcome it could have been. And something that was so special about this was I had people driving 2 hours to come to this. My friends came to support me. And it just felt so full circle moment because for the longest time I had prayed for the truest of true friendships. And this was the day where I was like, it all just clicked. Like I knew I had great friends before, but this just solidified it and solidified that I had a community. And if my friends couldn't come, they were supporting me. And it felt like a really good day for friendship. And it's funny because I was chatting with my mom the other day. I know we've kind of like gone from like so silly to like serious, but I do need to share this. Everything truly happens the way it's supposed to. And at the time, we don't always see it. And at the time, it can feel like the end of the world. But then you look back later and you're like, oh, I wouldn't have gotten this if this didn't happen. So I had one of those moments. And a couple years ago, I was on vacation. I had to go home because I had really bad anxiety and stuff. And at the time, I felt like it was the end of the world. I felt so defeated. I lost a whole vacation. Stuff came out of that. And I truly felt like it was the end of the world. I was so upset. And then that week, the week I came home, when I was supposed to be on this vacation, while I was home, I got a call from this company that I really wanted to work at. It's like our local music hall. So where like all the people come to perform and to like do their social media and stuff. So I got a call to interview that week in person. And if I hadn't come home, I wouldn't have been able to get that interview. So it started there. The dominoes started to fall there. Then I fast forward, and because of this vacation, me and the people didn't end up being friends after that. And it was very hard on me. I felt like my life was over. Friendship breakups suck. It was awful. And then in that moment, that made me realize that I needed to branch out and make new friends because I wasn't just going to be like, oh, poor me, poor me. I was going to do something about it. So last year, I started hanging out with these two girls from my high school that we were always friendly together, but we never really hung out. And I was like, these girls are so nice. And so they invited me out one night and I was like, okay, I was so nervous, but I ended up going and I had so much fun and I became super close with these two girls. And then a couple months ago, one of the girls sends me this application to do Thomas Rhett's social media. And so as a joke, I'm kind of like, yeah, sure. I mean, thousands of people fill this out. You know, like when you put in a giveaway and you're like, yeah, let me just like do it. And then you actually win and you're like, wait, what? So I filled out the application because she had sent me it. I had no idea it was going on. I had no idea it was a thing. And I wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to do the social media for Thomas Rhett if she didn't send me that application, if I wasn't forced to make new friends in this situation, if I had never left that vacation. Domino effect the tea. And something that I thought was the end of the world was something that domino affected into the most important, special parts of my life. So it is crazy what even like 2 years later, how the dominoes still fall and how something so far long ago can still be impacting you for the better. And it's just a sign that, you know, it may be very sucky, but you'll look back and be like, oh, see, I'm so glad that happened, or this wouldn't have happened, or I'm so glad this fell this way, so this would fall this way. And I had that moment and I was talking to my mom after and I was like, whoa. So thankful, so thankful that everything played out the way it did. Then this weekend, it was my friend's birthday, so I shipped it off to Boston. We did mobsters and lobsters. I've told you guys about this before. So much fun. It is like bring your 40 friends. First of all, I don't even know how she has 40 friends. Well, I know why. She's like the best human ever, but it amazes me that someone has 40 friends. I mean, it doesn't specifically to her because she is a human ray of sunshine and like we would all write at dawn for her. But 40 friends, holy, like my birthday's coming up and I'm like, I got like 2. I couldn't even fill a seat on that bus. So it was us and 40 of her closest friends. Oh, and by the way, like if I even did have 40, it would be like all girls. Her ratio was split down the middle perfectly. She's incredible in all the ways. And this just shows that. So we had the bus. It was so much fun. She decided to wear her like super high white pumps. I mean, it made the outfit and like beauty hurts. And she's like, these are the most comfiest shoes. She was running in them. I was like, yep, yes, girl. So she wore them and they snapped on the bus. And for mobsters and lobsters, there's stops along the way. So you stop at bars. And at one of the stops, one of the girls went with no shoes so she could have shoes. At the other stop, when we were at Encore Casino in Boston, one of the guys wore no shoes so she could wear shoes. She's in like these like men's 12 sneakers running around Encore, this casino. It was so funny. We had so much fun. And then the windows are all like completely open on this bus. So everyone like stares at you because they're like, whoa, what is this? And we were waving to this guy. And you know what he does again? We go, hey. And he just points to his finger, I'm married. First of all, we were just waving. And second of all, how has this happened twice in a week? He was peeing his pants. I was peeing my pants. We were all just peeing our pants. Then I got to have a slumber party with one of my best friends. It felt like college all over again because it was you wake up, you debrief. It just felt like the good old days, the good old college days where everything was good. The gossip was hot. So much fun. And then I was on my way home and then I go, you know what? I don't want to go home. And I realized 2 of my best friends lived 40 minutes away when I put in their address. So I was like, let me take a mini side quest. So I drove to her house. Luckily, she was home. She was pulling out of the driveway the second I pulled in. And I was like, surprise! And she got to the floor crying. I was like, because it was so unexpected out of left field. So awesome to catch up. And it's so funny because you are so close with your college friends, but because you live so far away from each other, it takes years to actually see their house. So I got the full house tour. We had so much fun. And then I got to go see my other best friend and her boyfriend. We went to the beach. I was at the beach and one of her cousin's dogs was playing so hard in the waves that it kept like swallowing water. And then we were on the beach and we were talking about how this dog hasn't thrown up. And on cue, this dog just projectile vomits next to me. And I was like, whoa, it made the sound like of a literal human. And I was like, I didn't even know this was a thing. It made me jump, but he was okay. Don't worry. And then I drove home and now I'm here. And this week has just been incredible. I should have just known the second I saw a hell of a good dip on the fridge, it was going to be a good week. It was going to be good. I guess that kind of sums up my life as of late. You know, I said there wasn't going to be like a lesson in this episode, but I kind of feel like there was. You just had to like pick it up a little. You had to find it. You had to search for it. I didn't like blatantly just go out and say it. So I think this was good. It was successful. It was silly. It was funny. It was serious. I think we hit all the boxes. Oh, and I totally forgot Love Island is on right now. I wish I could watch it. But I just don't have enough attention span to watch every single day because if I got behind for even like one episode, I would be so stressed out. So like me and that show just like can't collab for like mental health purposes. And I'm just like watching little clips and pieces through TikTok. And it is so funny because it's like United States edition. So obviously people from the United States are coming and it's like people we go to college with. It's like my friend's friend. I'm like, what is going on? But like this is so normal because it's like the people from the United States. It's just so funny because I'm like, oh, like it's going to be these huge celebrities. It's like Bob from down the street. And I think it's so funny, especially this season, because a lot of people know these people. So people will post videos and they'll be like, oh my gosh, this guy on Love Island, like I hooked up with him, not me, like the person posting. And then the comments are like, babe, we've all hooked up with him. We've all Snapchatted him. I'm like, this is like, I'm not watching, but I feel like it's a good season. I feel like it is a good season just because that alone. So I'm hooked on like the TikTok version where it's like the 2 minutes of just like random gossip and tea and like what's going on. But you know what I'm really excited for? Summer I Turned Pretty. It's coming out like once a week, which I don't know if I'm very happy about. Actually, I know I'm not happy about it. I like am more of a binge watching girl. So I'm a little frustrated that I have to wait 2 months, but it also is the final season. So I'm like, I guess we should take it out because it's the last, which hurts my heart. I hate finishing a show or a book or a movie. Not a movie because I'm not attached. A show or a book because then I feel like it's over. I feel like I've lost something. So yeah, I've been chit-chatting for long enough. Oh, literally the final thing, and then I'll bid you adieu. I came home from seeing my friends yesterday and I had garbage in my car, so I went to gather up all my garbage and I had my phone in my hand. My Octo Buddy is like a suction warrior and it sticks to anything. So I had this Cheez-It box and I had my phone in my hand and my phone accidentally sticks to the Cheez-It box. I don't know it yet. So I go and throw it in a big dumpster. Garbage, bye-bye, like just to be like proactive, clean out my car. And then like 3 minutes later, I'm like, where's my phone? And then I'm like, Mom, can you call my phone? And it's not ringing anywhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I threw it in the garbage. Not only did I throw it in the dumpster, but I threw it in the Cheez-It box and then my phone decides to not suction anymore. So it falls to the bottom of the dumpster. So my mom and I had to go dumpster diving a little bit with our hands. No, more like our limbs, like our arms. But got it. But wow, Octo Buddies work like no other. So with that, love you all. If you're in this heat wave, stay cool. I feel like people in like Texas and California are literally laughing at us because they're like, this weather is our everyday. But yeah, make sure you're following it On the Bright Side Pod with 2Ds on Instagram. I've been lacking on the guests, so if you have an idea, message me it, see what I can do. And with that, I love you guys. Oh, and make sure you give this a 5-star review because we get so many more opportunities the more 5 stars we get. Okay, love you. Oh, and stay looking on the bright side, and I promise you it'll serve you well. Bye-bye. Ciao. Au revoir.